Hi guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is about this gorgeous wig right here. I made a wig. Now let me tell you something about making a wig when you don't know the first thing about making a wig. So I was there thinking to myself, why don't you make a wig? And I'm like, how am I going to make a wig when I don't know anything about making a wig? Like, I haven't even been around where they are making a wig. So I said to myself, there's nothing you're looking for that you can't find on YouTube. So I went on YouTube and I searched for videos about making wig, how to make a wig beginners friendly. So I took 6 good hours watching different types of videos, different techniques, different procedures, different ideas on how to make a wig. After watching the videos, I said to myself, yeah, I think you're ready to take out your first try. Now let me tell you something, I didn't think my first time will come out this way. Like, I don't even care what you're saying right now, but hey, I did this. Like this is all me. Like, seriously, if you're put in a position where you need to dig out your potentials and your creativity, trust me guys, you will be surprised what you can do. So I went into my wig bag and I was looking for a damaged weave, because obviously I'm not going to use my expensive weave on to make a wig when I don't even know how to make a wig, when I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I went into my wig bag and I was looking for weave-ons that are probably dead or weave-ons that I don't need anymore. So I came across this one. Now I was surprised because I didn't even know how this followed me from Nigeria. So I opened the bag and I saw this wig and I'm like, oh hallelujah, something to try it out with. So I brought it out. It was really dead, and I got this closure which I've used a couple of times, like 6 times or something. This closure is like dead, like dead. So I brought them out, I got my mannequin head, and I said to myself, let's make a wig. Now if you want to see how I turned my boredom into something this gorgeous and productive, why don't you keep watching and I'll show you how I turned this weave on into this. To make this wig, I will be needing a mannequin head, which you've got right here, a mannequin stand or a mannequin holder, something to secure the mannequin so it doesn't move around. That's how it looks like. You're gonna need a closure, but this is not actually compulsory. I have this damaged one right here. You're gonna need a pair of scissors, you're gonna need some clips, you're gonna need obviously the weave and a wig cap. Now you're gonna need thread and a needle. This is how a needle looks like, and this is thread. So now you're gonna need a T-pin just to secure the weave onto the wig cap. Now I measured from the middle of the nose just to the center of the hair to get a vivid sense of where my path will be, because I wanted my wig to be a center part. So now I took my T-pin and then I secured it down just to make it firm before I start sewing. Now I went around and did the exact same thing, just securing the tips down to make it a bit firm on the wig cap before sewing. So once that's done, I saw that the middle part wasn't probably secured well, so I took that out and did it all over again. Then I moved the hair upward to give me a clear vision of where I'm going to be sewing. So I just knot it up and then pin it down. Now I was ready to start sewing, and then I tried as much as possible to drag the sides down just to make the closure lie firm and perfect, because I wouldn't want my closure to look bumpy. So I flattened it, and then that's my curved needle. Now it's very essential to use a curved needle, because most of the videos I watched on YouTube, the needles they were using were all curved, and I kind of like saw the reason why they did that, because I started sewing with a straight needle and it was really difficult for me to pull through. So I decided to curve my needle and it became very easy. Now what I'm basically doing here is putting the needle through the wig cap and passing it through the closure, then pull it upward to secure the closure onto the wig cap and pull it down to make it a bit tight. Now I continue the same process up to the end and then move back again just to make the closure a bit tight and secured to the wig cap. Now my closure is worn out, like I've used it a couple of times, so I figured that it's gonna be very strong and chunky to comb, and I will be doing a serious combing, so I decided to sew it like about 3 times just in case I need to comb with some strength so it doesn't pull out. Once I was done, I just cut off the thread, leaving a good amount of thread to tie. I tied it and then I cut it off. Now I move to the other side of the closure. Now you don't have to sew the back. So I saw on YouTube, don't have to sew the back, because at the end of the day you will need to pull all the pressure all the pressure you will to pull back the back so it can lay flat. Now I went to the other side and I repeated exact the same thing, putting the needle through the wig cap, passing through the closure and then dragging it out to secure the closure tightly. Now I did that all the way up and all the way back again, just the same thing I did on the other side. Now I made it a bit fast here so I don't have to record all day, because this wig took me about 6 hours to finish. It was a long time, which I know, but it's my first time, so I was going through a lot of difficulties trying to get what I wanted. So yeah, when I'm done, I just cut off that and then tie the extra. Now once that is done, I'm just gonna cut it off and then check to see if the center part is laid exactly where I want it to be, and in this case I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, so I'm just gonna comb it down and see if it's good, which it is, and then I'll mat the sides just to give me a clear space to sew the other wave and the back. So I did one on camera and one off camera. Now you're going to put all the pressure you have on the back lead and pull it back just to make it lie very, very flat, to give your closure a good sense of lapping. Now what I did here is just pulling the hair wig cap back and then pinning it down to make the top of the closure, the top of the wig, a bit flat. Now I really hate bumpy wigs. I haven't made wigs before, but I have an idea on how a good wig will look like, and I wasn't about to make my wig look bumpy. So I saw on YouTube that you can actually pull back the net and secure it down just to make the top of the wig a bit flat. So I did that, and then you're going to apply all the pressure onto the lid, the back lid of the closure, and pull it down to make it a bit firm and secured. So I did that, and then I started sewing the same pattern I sewed before, just putting the needle through the wig cap and pulling it out and securing it down tightly. So I did that all the way up and all the way back again, just to make it secured and a bit tight. Now if you ask me, I think I'm doing a great job going forward. Yeah, like I'm satisfied with what I'm sewing and it looks good. So I just went through it like 3 times. Like I said before, I don't want my closure to fall off when I'm combing and applying too much pressure on the hair, so I made it 3 times tight. Now once you're done, you're going to pull all the excess net up and then pin it upward just to give the back a flat lap. So once that's done, I measured my first track, and then I cut the weave and start sewing. I actually pinned it down a bit, then start sewing. the same sewing pattern. Actually, you don't have to do anything serious. The videos I watched on YouTube, they were basically saying put the needle through the wig cap, through the weave, and then you just pull it up and do the same thing all over again. Yeah, that's it. Just pulling it through, pulling it up, put it in through again. But what I did was, after like 2 thracks, I pull my needle through my thread and then try to make it tight and secure, because like I said before, I don't want combing and my wig is falling off, my weave is falling off. Now you can see I made the back a bit tight and all the way down, so when I pack it up it will look pretty nice. Now I did the exact same thing, measuring 2 fingers down just to make sure that there's enough space at the back in case my weave was not enough. It won't be from the top, but I'll go back to the back and fill it in. I don't know if you understand, but I'm having a difficult time explaining either. So yeah, I did that all the way up, and as you can see, the wig is coming to life, like seriously. Now my battery was a bit down when I was sewing this part, so I kept going on and off camera. I do a bit on camera, turn the camera on, put it to light to charge, then I do some off camera. So basically all I'm doing is curving the weave just a bit to get to the front of the wig cap and then sewing it down. Now as you can see, I'm doing a pretty job. Yeah, so if this is your first time and you're thinking, oh, this is really, you know, a big deal, I can't do it and all of that, trust me girl, you can do it. All you need to do is just get a mannequin head, a wig cap, your needle and your thread, your scissors, your clips, and you're good to go. So you see what I did there, I just put the needle through the thread and then tie it together so it looks a bit tight, so it feels tight rather. So I just went ahead and did the same thing, the same pattern all the way to the top, and yeah, basically that's all. So the wig is coming to life and I'm so excited. Like, I can't believe the time I took to make this wig. And yeah, for me it's just, as you can see, I did the rest off camera because my battery was going really low, so I decided to sew up the tracks off camera. Now when you're getting to the top, you're gonna want to start curving the weave so it touches the edge on the outer part of the wig cap. You're doing that because you don't want the front of the wig to look a bit scanty, so you sew it closely without leaving too much space. Remember, from the back we're leaving 2 fingers space, but to the front you're going to start sewing closely to each other. Now when you get to the top, as you can see, my weave was not enough, so I had to add an extra strand of a short weave just to close it. So all you're going to do basically is just sew it closely to the closure, just the tip of the closure where you sewed down before. You put the needle through the wig, through the weave, and through the wig cap, passing it through the closure, pulling it out and securing it. Now that will make your wig and your closure lap perfectly well, and there won't be any space showing that there's a sewing track of a closure and a sewing track of a weave. I think I watched my YouTube video very well. Once that is done, I just cut that off and then I tried to lose the one I made down and try to comb it out. It looks really nice. Can you see that? Now this weave on was dead. Oh my goodness. All I needed to do now was just to style it, which took me about another 1 hour because I flat tongued like almost 3 times to make it lie flat. So I did some flat tonguing and yeah, it came out really nice. Can you see that? Just hold on a bit, let me turn it so you can see how the front looks like. So this is the finished look of the wig. it came out really nice if you ask me. And trust me guys, this is just my first attempt. Just hold on till I come for you the second time. So this is it. You don't have to panic, you don't have to be afraid. You can do this. Like, I didn't even think I could be able to do this. Can you see how gorgeous it looks? And I haven't even styled it yet. So I went ahead and styled it, and what I'm doing basically here is I placed the wig on my head, and then I got my got2b freeze glue and put it a bit on where the closure is, because I wanted my wig to lap. Then I pulled the closure forward and then just glue it down, just the front, nothing too much. Just, I love my wig to lap on my head, so I just glued it down. As you can see, got my dryer and I tried to dry it. Just make sure you're placing the wig at the right place before you glue it, and then I used my finger to press it down just to make it lap. This point I've already stretched the wig, and I was trying to tongue it a bit just to give it that sense of flatness and some little curls by the tips. Remember, this wig is not your typical Brazilian, Peruvian or Cambodian hair. This is just a human hair, and so far I think it's gorgeous because I've used it a couple of times before attempting to make this wig. Alright guys, so this is the finished look after styling, and I actually went to church and came back before filming this video. So yeah, the wig actually stayed down all the way to church, all through the service, and I got back home looking all fly. Oh my goodness guys, I'm so excited, like seriously, I'm so happy. The wig came out really nice. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time for another video.